Okay, so I think I'm going to start now. Today, I'm going to work on this process here of creating platinum dust, wherever it is, from these platinum combs. And it's going to take quite a few machines, I believe. And I'm going to do it out in my towers, old towers, not my new tower that isn't built yet, of course. And we'll see what it looks like when I'm going. I think we're going to put it directly underneath all of this. I've got these platinum bees, if I remember where I put them, living over here. And they're making me lots of combs, which is cool. And I need to turn those through hydrofluoric acid into platinum concentrate, and platinum concentrate with other things into something else, into something else, into something else, until I finally get the platinum dust that I need. And I need 222, which is 3 stacks and 30, which seems like a little bit. And if I get that process automated, I plan on also automating the process of turning what these bees have made, which is 512 titanium combs, into titanium, so that I'm able to make this TPV alloy, so that I'm able to make these TPV titanium, platinum, vanadium alloy coil blocks, which will be a big upgrade and will allow me to process more materials in the game. More materials. It'll be a tier up in my electric blast furnace in Minecraft in Gregtech New Horizons. So we'll go down to where I'm planning on putting it, and we'll clear out some space through here. We'll use my nice hammer. We'll clear up some space. I don't know how big of a process this is going to be, so I haven't planned it all out yet. That's one of the things I plan on doing on stream today, is just figuring it all out. What I do know is that there should be plenty of space once I've dug it out. And if there isn't, I guess I dig an even bigger area for it. But this area is already chunk loaded, so it should be no problem to use it for the purposes of processing this alloy for me. Hey system, welcome in. Hey Shro, thank you so much for the lurk. How you doing, system? Since you're here, is there anything interested in your scene before I really start digging into this platinum process? Or, you know, have you heard enough about the place that you're like, whatever, pretty boring? Need to get some lights so I can light things up down there. Always light your build. Just ask all the professional streamers. Let's see here. Somewhere around here, I think. Not perfect, but not too terribly off. Just continue digging this out till we have a nice little hole to build in. And we'll occasionally put down some lights, because... Well, I'm glad you're here, system. Like I said, if there's anything you're interested in seeing, I'm happy to show it to you. You've expressed some interest in what I've been doing over here a few times, and that's one of the reasons I decided to try and stream. People showing some interest in what I'm doing, which usually surprises me, but at the same time, since I'm interested in what other people are doing, I'm not too surprised, just a bit surprised. Sometimes wonder what I'm adding compared to what other people add. I think other people add more than me, but I think that might also just be my own biases. And what are you going to do about those? Let's see here. How far back does this go? Goes to here. Yeah, I think there are two kinds of people. There's those who admit to being their worst critic and those that don't admit to it. But I could be off on that logic. Dig a bigger hole. Dig it out without causing problems. There it is. All right. That's the top of the footprint. Now we just need to go till we see black wall on the other side. Well, thank you. We'll see if the rest of the world feels that way anytime soon. I sure don't think I know what I'm doing, but I'm giving it a try. Alright, there's the other wall. We'll put up some more lights. The floor looks like that, so there's one more block between me and the floor. So let's dig that. And the floor has its own lights, so I can remove these once I've got the floor exposed. Which is nice. So, digging out an area in order to create a processing line to take what the bees made and turn it into something much more useful. In other words, the TPV coils that I was talking about earlier, the titanium, platinum, vanadium coils, which will allow me to, in effect, tier up from nichrome coils, I think, nickel chrome coils, to the hotter ones, which will allow me to unlock more materials. The specific material that I think I'm interested in right now is called tungsten steel, which, if you do material processing in the real world, you'll probably recognize and know a lot more about it than I do. But the tungsten steel is a far superior material to the titanium that I currently have access to. And of course, anytime you're going to create an automation, you need plenty of room to set it up in here, because I'm not really sure what it takes, but I assume there's going to be several machines, maybe some multi-blocks. I might need more power down here. I don't know. We'll see shortly. Once I've got the space dug out, I will dig into NEI and use that to basically rough out what machines are going to be needed to create the process. All right. When I built this area up, I did not know that I was going to be further using it later on to dig underneath and build automations. I kind of thought that I was just going to use the one floor. But I've learned since then that I may need more space than what I've got, because while this is doing a great job of processing ores, it doesn't have room to process the combs that I need. Apparently I've filled up my inventory. This is, of course, Minecraft Inventory Management Simulator. I always like that joke. I often tell it when I'm in somebody else's stream. But by the same token, who knows, maybe other people think I'm silly. Hey there, Major. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Welcome in. What's the good word? Put some lights down so that I'm not just creating spawnable places. I think I'm going to put those walls back up here in a little bit. But I'll put some lights in them. We'll build that back up in just a moment. Get out the appropriate tool for that too. And I'm blind. Oh, there it is. Good. Yes and no. Today I'm clearing out a space to build a processing line, an automated processing line. I plan on turning these platinum combs into this platinum dust. And in order to do so, you have to soak them with hydrofluoric acid. You get a platinum nugget and you get some concentrate. And then you use the concentrate to make this other material in a large chemical reactor. And then some of that comes back out in a second large chemical reactor as platinum dust, but then you also get other things, and other things, and other things, and then you need acids and nitric acid and aqua regina and nitrogen dioxide. It's a whole thing. I'm not really sure. It's called the Plat line in Gregtech New Horizons. And it's a kind of a I don't know if it's a checkpoint in the game, but it certainly seems to be something that not everybody has. And seems to be like a sort of gate between the early game and the middle game, perhaps. Or maybe the early game and the early middle game. I'm not 100% sure. But until you have platinum, there's a lot of stuff that you're locked out from using. And once you do have platinum, you can, of course, access those same things. Let's see here. Cover those. Let's put a light in. Let's learn how to jump. Is that bright enough? No, let's replace this with a light. How about now? Let's replace this with a light. That looks pretty decent. We'll keep building this over. And let's replace that with a light. That looks okay. Keep building over. Let's put a light in there. Going. And a few more lights in here. Let's go one here. Oops, missed. Try that again. And one here in the corner. Doesn't look too bad. Let's look at the other wall. Do the same thing. Build this over. Add some lights to it. Miss one because, of course. We made 3 shulkers. of cyan glass and decided not to use it, so basically the same. um, well, I have intentions to use all the things I'm making, including all of the various items that I've got over here that have been made in my ore processing. Hey, Lunar Flight! How's it going? How you doing today? But I'm up to a little bit of... So this is my iron storage here, the deep storage for iron. And in each one of these crates is 64. And then there's 4,946 crates, plus the 64 out here. So that's a bit over 5,000 crates, which is 80,000 iron. That might last me a little while. I've also got iron over here. I've got some bees over here that are making iron for me. And apparently they're not making iron right now because I don't know what I'm doing. And I've got this set up a little wrong. Let's see here. I guess it's backed up and it will start to work again. So right now it's just not working. But these bees, wherever their queen is, I think she's in process of being transferred over to the output tray. But they go and collect pollen from the flower and turn it into iron combs. And then the iron combs are made into iron dust. And the iron dust is smelted into iron ingots. And then the iron ingots are used to create bolts to do other things that I need them to make. But the bees make iron for me automatically so that I don't have to worry about getting iron as part of this process. Now, this iron is not actually used to come into this iron. That iron never enters into these. It just fills up and then is used to make these empty crates, which are then used later on to fill in, you know, all these various items so that I can crate them up and actually stack more into the storage than otherwise would be able to be stored there. But this little chest monster here is just an input buffer to my ore processing. Ore processing being downstairs, where a variety of processes take those ores and create the refined products so that I can use them later. This is creating power for this whole process. Lunar is currently procrastinating at school and receiving a sore throat, recovering from a bad sore throat. I'm sorry to hear your throat hurts you. I know exactly how that feels. I recently got a shot of antibiotics for a strep throat infection. Not my favorite, but also it's better than taking pills, I guess. This is the most insanely complicated shenanigans. Okay. So this is actually simpler than redstone because redstone to me seems magical and you can't really figure out what A is going to happen to be. Whereas this is relatively straightforward. It's just a lot of steps are being shown at the same time. Yes, I'm a gross sicko. It's a good thing you don't have to come over here and shake my hand or anything major. You can stay on your side of the screen and I'll stay on mine and you won't have to get sick. But if you break down these processes, if I can actually, well, let's just do this the right way. Let's use the elevator. So up here I have crops, and the crops are growing various products for my eventual usage. This one hasn't actually been planted yet. But these crops, they grow up and they're automatically harvested by a farmer. And we can show you the farmer real quickly and easily. Did I break a crop somehow? I did break. I don't know how I broke a crop here, but that's really unfortunate. And I didn't get it back, so it's kind of a waste. At any rate. Throw that crop away. So if we come under here, we can look, and we can see the farmer right there. It's called a crop manager, but it's the farmer. And it waters the crops, and it collects the drops from the crops. automatically for me. And then it brings those drops down into these conduits, and then they're brought into storage. In this case, those crops up there create these three items. They create Ender Pearl Dust, they create Ender Pearls, and they create Eyes of Ender. And these three drawers are full of those items, and then any overflow goes into a trash can. This is about the simplest automation I can create to do crops. I need these Ender Pearls to run these passive anchors. The passive anchors load chunks for me passively. So I put Ender Pearls in here, and the chunks are loaded, and all these machines run all the time. Conversely, one of those crops up there was spruce bonsai, which bring down spruce wood and spruce saplings. One of them was glowing earth coral, which gives me glowing coral. One of the crops was salty root and produces salty roots. One of the crops was black ender lily and produces this black granite dust. And one was the nether stone lily, which creates this netherrack dust. And the various farmer machines, the crop managers, produce those crops, and they come through these transport conduits into the top of these drawers. And then the bottom of the drawers have the outputs from the drawers, which then go to the other machines. So, for example, one of the things that I need later on is charcoal. So I have the wood come out of these machines, go into the various furnaces, get combined and turned into charcoal. These furnaces are inactive because they're the lower priority for creating charcoal, and these pyrolyzed ovens are the higher priority. The pyrolyzed ovens have an input on top where the wood goes in, and also nitrogen goes in, and they turn those two materials through a process. And if I look up spruce wood and I look at the uses for spruce wood, I can come over to the pyrolyzed oven, and the spruce wood plus the nitrogen will give me, come on spruce wood, there you are, will give me charcoal and some byproducts, or charcoal and some wood gas, or charcoal and some wood vinegar, and so forth and so forth. With this one, let's look at what I'm outputting. Where's the output? Here it is. It's producing wood gas. Hi, Lunar. I'm trying to explain it. If I'm going too fast, I can slow down. But the wood is being cooked in here with power and nitrogen to produce the charcoal and this wood gas. The wood gas is then distilled in this distillery into ethylene. Ah, the single brain cell. Well, I've got lots of brain cells, but they don't get used. That's why I've still got lots of them. They are never challenged. Where is benzene? Well, benzene's over here, ASCII. Welcome in. How are you? Wood tar, and then wood tar, of course, turned into benzene. And then benzene is used in my solid oxide fuel cells, Mark 1, to create power. But there's benzene here for sure. We were talking about the ethylene we create here. This ethylene is used to make plastics. The two plastics are being made here through all these machines. To put it mildly, the important part is the ethylene from before and some oxygen is being combined in a basic chemical reactor to create polyethylene, which you use a lot of. Otherwise, we use chlorine that I bring from somewhere else in this chemical reactor to take the benzene again, to react it with the chlorine to make vinyl chloride. And then the vinyl chloride is reacted with more oxygen to create the polyvinyl chloride, which we typically call PVC, which is another plastic. And then I use this in other processes in other places. All of these machines are broken down into processes where I figured out step 1, build a machine to do this. Step 2, build a machine to do that. And then just set them all up in a row, and what you get is you put in the first part, and what comes out is the second part. And all the intermediate steps are very confusing, lose you quite a bit, and don't need to be remembered, because you put in the process and out comes the molten PTFE, for example. And I've actually got PTFE making me empty cells and PTFE sheets so that I could pick those up too if I wanted them. But we'll go back to digging a bigger hole so that we can set up the platinum material process that we want to automate, which was what I was hoping to do today. I think this wall needs some lights. Let's put some lights into this wall. We'll do one there. Maybe we'll do one there. There we go. We'll do one here. Do one here. Do one there. And let's go up higher. Let's stay up higher this time. We'll put one right there. Maybe. There we go. Well, enjoy your lurk. I hope your schooling goes well. And I hope you have a fun time. Okay. Not there. Gotta get closer. There we go. That should be enough light for that side for now. We'll put this wall in. I'll put a light in the wall here. And now if we kept going on the wall right now, we'd have a problem where all of this would be filled in, and we don't want that, so we'll remove some of this first. Hello, Spooky Jordan. How are you? And do you prefer to be called Jordan or Spooky? Third option that I didn't think of? What's your preference? Whatever you prefer. Okay, well, I'll probably go with Spooky then, because that's the first part of the name. How you doing? How's life? Do you play New Horizons? Or did something else bring you in? I'm always curious at how people decide to find my stream. Keep building this wall out. And I need to finish that up there. So we lost a little bit. Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. Maybe someday you'll decide to play. And thanks for watching the content. Is there anything that you'd like to see while I'm streaming that I could show you? Or do you just want to watch what I'm up to and not have input on that? Let's see here, lighting this wall up some more. And continue building it. And continue building it up here too. And then more lights. Put one there. Put one here. Put one there. And maybe a couple down here for good measure. So I'm building my platinum lineup here next to where I've got sulfuric acid being made, with the hope that the sulfuric acid that I'm making is sufficient enough to keep the aqua regina that will be needed for the platinum line going, in addition to making sulfuric acid for the sodium persulfate for my ore processing up above. If it does turn out that I need more, I will build another copy of these two machines beneath this set of machines and have even more sulfuric acid being made. Hi, Math Girl. Shro, thank you for the soft raid. I'm not quite sure I know what that means, but I do appreciate any and all raids. So if there is a soft raid, let's do a shout out, because Shro is amazing. Shout out. Let's see here. There we go. Oh, right. I do remember reasons. Reasons are fun. Shro, thank you again for your raid. I hope that your stream went well after I started lurking. You were rocketing along and going crazy in Rocket League, which seemed like a lot of fun. I've never played that game. I don't understand that game, but it does appear that you appreciate it and you have fun with it, which is what is important. Nice. And welcome back, Shro. All right. Now, I was trying to have it appear that there were some supports here for the chemical, what you call it, if I can get the name, ExxonMobil chemical plant. Even though, of course, this is Minecraft and you don't have to support anything, I do want things to appear to be supported, not just held up by gravity divining physics. So I built a little bit of supports around this. This is an algae pond, essentially. It's an algae farm. And then the chemical reactor sits on top of the algae farm and makes the sulfuric acid for me. And I just cut out those supports, so I'm putting them back in. Let's put some lights in those supports, because otherwise someone might tell me to light my build, and if that were the case, they would be absolutely correct in saying so, because lighting things up is key in Minecraft. People that don't light things up probably deserve grief at the minimum, maybe more than grief, for not lighting their builds. And in Gregtech New Horizons, if you don't light your build, you could spawn monsters, of course. But some of those monsters might be infernal monsters, which would be worse than just your typical monsters because they have worse capacities and they might have modifiers that make them stronger, meaner, tougher, unkillable practically. You know, those kind of things. Did Perfect come in and I missed it? If so, I'm so sorry, Perfect. Hi, Perfect. If I didn't say hi before, I don't remember saying hi before, and I feel terrible. How are you doing? Apologies for missing you coming in. Terrible streamer that I am. Although I've been told that missing things in chat is a sign that maybe I'm actually streaming correctly and know what I'm doing. I don't know. Blame Rocket. Why would I blame Rocket? What is... Rocket's not here, is he? Rocket, are you here? It's all good. I'm kind of work lurking, not feeling the greatest, and about to head home. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. There's a lot of that going around, and I'm really unhappy that you two are hit with that. I hope you feel better soon. And I'm really sad to hear that you're not feeling well. Let's see here. Those are some cute emotes. They're not on my main screen, so I have to look over and try to figure it out. Yep. Cute emotes are great. I don't have any emotes myself yet. I don't think I'm allowed to until I get to be a bigger, better streamer or something. Maybe someday I'll get there, but maybe not. Who knows? Once again, undercutting the supports. Once again, putting them back in place before the whole thing comes crashing down, which, of course, in Minecraft would not actually occur, but we'll pretend that maybe it would. And then we'll go through and remove this stone. Oops. Put those back. So I've just about got this room dug out. And then once I've got it dug out, I'll go back through and put in the floor, which I'll need to figure out. It's this stone bricks, disordered stone bricks. All right. Twitch % speed run when? I don't know what that means, system. Yeah, reach affiliate, get emotes. Thank you for the healing thoughts for Perfect, Math Girl. Oh. Twitch is crazy? I'm perfectly willing to allow that. You said you wouldn't accept affiliate and you just want to go straight to partner. What? No, I do not believe I ever said that, and if I did, I was mistaken. I doubt that I'll ever become partner. I don't expect to become affiliate. It would be nice. But these are things that are above my pay grade at this point, and I'm not too concerned about. Guys who have recently followed, thank you for the follows. I don't say out follow names because a variety of reasons. The biggest one being that you may not have said anything in chat yet, so you might want to lurk. And if I call you out a lurk, that's not the nicest thing for me to do. So that is one of the reasons I don't just, call out different people's names. Thank you for the follow. But I do see those follows and I appreciate them. So thank you. All right. Let's get out the chisel. And let's chisel some of these stone bricks into those disordered tiles. Disordered stone bricks. Kind of looks like those. Yep, there they are. That should be plenty of them. Then we'll use my wand to build some flooring. That's getting kind of dark. Let's put a light in. And let's put another light in. And let's stick a light in the wall. And we need some more of those. I really like to be able to chisel these materials into things that mobs won't actually spawn on. It's all very, very nice. And then I'm putting this material on the floor in this chunk, a different material on the floor in that chunk, and so forth and so forth. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not at height where slimes would spawn, but if I were deeper down, slimes could spawn, and I don't want that. So, blocks that just by their nature don't allow spawning are nice to have. Actually, I'm going to paint some of these with glowstone. I'm going to paint some glowstone with that texture so that I can use glowstone that looks like that in the floor in the future. Don't pass up the machine that paints the glowstone. Okay, so the texture I'm going to use is this texture. And then we'll grab some glowstone and we'll have it painted in that texture. And we'll go back down. That will process, and we'll come back and pick it up in a few minutes. Back to working on the floor and the walls in here. Let's dig out this stone. This hammer is really, really, really fast, so sometimes when I break a little bit of stone, I get a lot of stone. And let's use the wand instead of just putting them one by one. If you're in modded, you might as well use the mods that are super helpful. Let's put a little more light in this wall, maybe one here, and maybe one here, and probably one here too. All right, that looks like a nice space to build in, I'd say. Up above, you can see where the chunk boundaries are. I've built the floor in such a manner that it's really easily to see. This is the chunk boundary right here. The floor also shows it down here. This is one chunk. This is a different chunk. I'm going to build my machines in the middle, sort of. We'll put a few more lights down here just for now. And then we'll come back through and put those painted ones in here soon. So for this process, the machines I will need. I need this hydrofluoric acid, which can be made from fluorine and hydrogen in a chemical reactor in 3 seconds, or in a bigger chemical reactor, a large chemical reactor. It can be made in basically no time at all, 7 ticks, 9 times as much at a higher voltage. At high voltage. I think I'm going to use this recipe because it will barely have to process, and it uses a very similar amount of EU, I'd say, because 9 times 400 is more than 3,300. So we're going to use this recipe, which means I need a large chemical reactor for hydrofluoric acid. So we'll go to the new page and we'll say we want a large chemical reactor. And a large chemical reactor needs a bunch of blocks. And I'm going to need it to be in the HV tier. That doesn't seem to be changing anything, so we will put this stack of blocks into things that we're going to make. We need an energy hatch, which means we need a high voltage energy hatch. So we'll find the high voltage energy hatch, and we will bookmark that. I'm going to bookmark the helium version. And then we'll go back to the recipes that we were looking at for what the hatches are we need. We need an input hatch for fluids input. So LV input hatch, that's not it. That's it right there. We'll bookmark that recipe and we'll go back. This is how I plan out my machines when I'm building a multi-block machine. I'm sure that there's a better way, but this is my way. We will need the output hatch. I think we're going to need more than one fluid hatch. Let's look again at the recipe. Yeah, there's no item inputs, but there is a program circuit, which means we're going to need one item input hatch, and then we'll need 2 fluid input hatches. And then we'll need 1 fluid output hatch. And we'll bookmark that output hatch. And we'll go back to the recipe for the large chemical reactor, the LCR. And it says it needs an input bus, which we'll need for that program circuit. Once again, we're losing it somehow, so we'll delete that off. Are the Gregtech machines sensitive to be bringing in different chunks like redstone sometimes is? Yes. Yes. Gregtech machines that are even next to chunk boundaries can have problems. So typically you'd want to build them one in from the chunk boundary, and then you always want to build them completely inside of the same chunk. So when I'm building this machine, I will probably turn on chunk boundaries and look at things in addition to having the floor to help me plan that out. So yeah, that's a good question, Major, and absolutely they are. Input bus. Hello, Willow. I thank you for the duck. Welcome in. Thank you for the first time chat. How are you doing? And then we'll go back to the list of things we need for the large chemical reactor. And we will look at the next item. We'll need a maintenance hatch. Put that on the list. Don't need to worry about which one which. Chemically inert machine casing. We're going to need a bunch of these. We'll get the count in a few seconds. I believe this is going to be a hollow. I don't know if it's my idea, Major, but it's definitely a good idea. You're absolutely right. And if you decorate the chunk boundaries a little differently and you put a break between them, it does make it easier to not cross chunk boundaries when you're doing things like redstone, when you're doing things like multi-block machines in this particular mod pack. This will need molten PTFE, which we have on auto process, which is super nice. And it will need solid steel machine casings, which I will also put on the list. The solid steel machine casings, that's not the version I want. Let's get the one I want. There we go, with the Gregtech plates. And then that will need steel boxes, steel frame boxes. We'll put that on there as well. And then we'll go back and we will need, is it just the one coil? It is just the one coil. Okay. I have this coil in storage, so I'm just going to put it over there as a bookmark. I won't need to build it. And then I will need one PTFE pipe casing, which will need polytetrafluoroethylene sheets, which I have. We'll need some pipes, which I can make pretty quickly, and then a polytetrafluoroethylene frame box, which I don't have, which require rods. Okay, that should be pretty simple to make. Okay, so now we need to get the count of these chemically inert machine casings. We'll look back at the multi-block, which is a 3x3. And we know that we're going to need 3x3x3 is 27 blocks. The center block is this casing, so that's 26. The top block is this, that's 25. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. So we will need 18 of these chemically inert machine casings, which will necessitate 18 steel frames and 18 solid steel machine casings. So we'll get all those set up. I don't know if you heard that. I don't even need people to pay for it, but I will get the fake creeper sounds just from being in this mod pack and having a substantial amount of Thaumcraft warp, which is fun. The game will troll me without any help. At this point, if I'm not in a cave or whatnot, I tend to hope that I'm never actually hit with a creeper. I think this is the right one. Let's take a look. Yep, this is the right one. Let's go set these on the floor. All right, one here, one there, one here, one there. Just put in some lights so that the floor is nice and well lit up. I could make this a perfect grid, but that's not really my way of doing things. I just look at where things are kind of shadowy and just light them up a little extra. Perfect lighting seems kind of weird to me, or perfectly like the OCD lighting, I guess they call it. I've done that before. I look at it and I go, what and why, I suppose. Some people really enjoy that. It's not for me over here. But I have built that way before, thinking that that's good. Do you need to see some OCD torches, ASCII? Because I have some. They're not my typical way, but I have built that way before because it was, you know, something to do. If we come over here towards where I have my villagers, there is OCD torch spam. I don't particularly care for it. Someday I'll probably replace this with painted glowstone too. But dang sheep. Sheep, quit eating my grass. But OCD torch spam is something that anyone can do if they want to. All right. So we're going to head back to the older base in order to make all these machine parts. And then the machine parts will be added all together. And we'll have a machine, and then we'll need to power that machine. Which means I'll probably need to plant some of those spruce bonsai on top if I want to create more power for this area. Let's see here. Let's break those back down into just plain stone and put them away. Okay. All right. I've got my stone storage here, but then it's actually being stored in one of these. It'll be the last one I look at, right? I've got the stone coming into this super chest 1 and being stored in massive quantities. Of course, I'll fill that up at some point and just start having to need another or bigger super chest of stone. Yeah, it is a good way to maximize your torches, the amount of light put off. At this point, I don't really need to worry about torches being spammed. I've got plenty of them and more at this point. So that belongs there, that belongs there. This goes here, this goes here. And then the rest of that's light. We've got some more stone to put away. And some cobblestone. And the rest of that's stone bricks. Okay. Put those away to be put away later. Get out that chisel again. And we'll convert all these stone bricks into stone for storage. I think there's a machine that will do this for you. I don't know, and I definitely don't have it. If someone knows a faster way to use the chisel on your inventory, that'd be great. I don't know a faster way, so this is the way I do it. And yes, at some point I probably turned regular stone into all these stone bricks. And now I'm turning them back. Silly me. Missed that click. Put all that away. Go through and do it again. Appreciate the big backpack. Great for storage. Just a few more left. And we'll put all this away. Put the stone away. Put the chisel away. And look at what we need to build. Let's start with the polytetrafluoroethylene parts. We've got some polytetrafluoroethylene over here. We need some rods, which means using the rod mold in the fluid solidifier. This is going to take a little while. That's fine. We only need 4. We're also going to need a pipe and some sheets. So we'll grab the pipe mold. And I believe the sheet mold I keep in the machine. Yep. 2 down. 2 to go. All right, those are done. We will need 1 pipe. And that's going. And we'll need 4 plates. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did we get that? We did. Perfect. Put these away. Grab the parts. Don't leave sheets in your hotbar because they will get stuck on machines, and that's not pleasant. Put all the things away. Go over and craft up. Oh, we need to turn the rods into a box in the assembler. We need circuit 4. There it goes. All right, now craft it, right? Except we need 4 pipes. We only made 1. Back to making more pipes. Put things away too quickly. So this is number 2. Number 3. And number 4. Put our PTFE away again. Grab our pipes. And we will make our PTFE pipe casing. All right, that's knocked off the list. Go grab our cupro nickel coil block, which I had just waiting around because I took it out of another machine before. Now we need these steel frames. We need 72 steel rods. Half of that is 36. So we'll need 36 ingots, which means putting these away. And we'll start those being turned into rods in our advanced extruder, our MV extruder. And then we'll need 108 steel plates, which is 64 plus 44 ingots. So 64 plus 44 and 4. And we'll go get those, start being built in the bending machine, which makes plates for you. All right, that's being made. And then we'll need some polytetrafluoroethylene. That's something we've already got stored up. We'll need a maintenance hatch, so we'll get working on that while those processes work. For a maintenance hatch, we need a LV machine hull, which I've got 1 left sitting in this storage. So we'll build this. And we lost our soft mallet. So we'll need a new soft mallet. And I think we're going to go with ironwood again. So we'll bookmark that, and we'll grab some of the ironwood we have here. And there are sticks in our storage, so we'll just we'll put these tools away. Let's do that smart. Okay, Major, does vanilla Minecraft bore me to death now? Yes and no. Watching other people build in vanilla Minecraft does not bore me at all. Because other people build things that I don't even see how they do it. They come up with these concepts and these ideas that are just fantastic. So that part of vanilla Minecraft does not bore me at all. When I'm playing vanilla Minecraft, I do get bored. I get bored very, very quickly. I am not a giant builder. Although I did build this area, of course. And I think it looks okay. It probably looks horrible to the rest of you. I don't know. I have a problem with this skybase concept because at one point I was building more machines and I forgot to build a roof and my machines blew up. And I lost a bunch of materials and I lost my machines, and it was a sad day. And so I built some signs, to remind myself that I need to play smarter. I have that sign, and I also have this sign. I put the parts that I managed to save went into this box, and then I made a note for myself. But that was the end of using this as my base, because it's a great place if you remember to build roofs, and I don't. And on top of that, it was really slow to build this, and it doesn't look that good. It looks all right. It looks fine. It doesn't look that good. We were putting our tools away since we broke one of them. We're building a new tool. This is built. I have several of these other machine parts built, so we'll pick them up. We need one input bus LV. We need one fluid output. And we need 2 fluid inputs. Okay, so 2 fluid input. Yep. Got that. 1 fluid output. Got that. And 1 fluid, or excuse me, item input. Got that. All right. Then we'll need this HV energy hatch. Let's go see how our steel's doing. Yeah, this is kind of the place where I just make things up on the fly. This will not be the permanent place for all these parts. Once I get my tower built, I do intend to put a lot of this machinery into a tower. These are built. These rods are built. Let's put these rods in to be made into machine frames, or machine frame boxes, whatever they're called. Steel frame box. Once these frame boxes are built, we'll make the solid steel machine casings. That needs no number. Put all those in here. And then finally we will need to build those together with the PTFE, which we have over here. And that will need program circuit number 6. And then those will be built. And then we'll put the various things back away. Because if you don't put your tools back where you keep them, the next time you need them, you'll have no idea where you put them. My grandfather taught me that a while ago. Well, let's just say a while. For this, we will need an electric pump, HV. We got close to the kitties and they're willing to say hi. I guess we'll say hi to them. Hi, kitties. You're very cute. You that survived the bees. I'm sorry the bees killed your friend. These things happen, I suppose. We'll get away from the kitties. We will need some coils. 2 coils. We will need these low power ICs. I think I have those. We will need gold cable, and we will need an HV machine hull. So let's get these coils started. We need some fine energetic alloy wire, which means 4 energetic alloy ingots, which I have. We'll need a steel ingot to make this magnetic steel. We'll go get those started. And the wire started in the wire mill. And then we need a steel rotor, stainless steel pipe, and a steel screw. Let's go look at what we have and what we need. We have the motor. Do we have the steel screw? We have the steel screw. We do not have a steel rotor, so we'll make some steel rotors. 17 steel ingots will turn into 4 steel rotors in your fluid extractor and your fluid solidifier. So we'll get that going. We'll grab the first one and we'll let the other ones process. And then we needed a stainless steel pipe. That's silver. Let's get the right material. And then everything else we have. Get this going. Put our stuff away. Grab our parts. We'll magnetize these rods. And we will have everything we need there. Grab those rods, grab this wire. Get that being made into coils with a number 1. And then we'll go make that electric pump. Put the tools away. Take it off the list. It was nice to see you, System. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a lot of fun. If there's ever anything you want to see in my crazy mixed up world, I'm happy to show it off. You seem to have interest. I'm here to try to meet that interest. Thanks again for being here, and we'll catch you later. If anybody doesn't know, System also streams Gregtech, and he is a fantastic builder. In fact, I'd say a great builder. And I'm actually going to shout him out as well. Let's get this right. And there we go. So if you don't already follow System, I recommend you do. He also streams. He streams Gregtech New Horizons, and he does a great job with it. And he's really fun to listen to. All right, those coils should be done. Take that off the list. We still need this coolant cell. We still need the machine hull. Okay. For the coolant cell, we'll need 2 empty cells and 4 10 plates. I've built a lot of these, if you can imagine. Every time I need a multi-block that needs power, that's going to be the high voltage, I need to build one of these. So I've done this a few times. We'll go get some helium because we need helium for this. And we'll get the helium cooling down till it's liquid helium. And then we'll go turn this cell into a liquid helium containment cell. I don't remember exactly. So it's in the assembler, the 4 10 plates, and the empty cell. The number 1. Okay. All that's there. And we've got that. Now we just need the liquid helium, which will be another 60 seconds. So we'll go build the machine frame, which will take 8 of our stainless, 2 gold wires, gold cables. The stainless goes into the bending machine. The wires go into the assembling machine with some polyethylene. We get the steel plates. Those get combined, come on, into a machine casing. The machine casing gets made into a machine hull. The machine hull's made. We're going to need a second one of those. We might as well make it now. Should have made it at the same time, but I wasn't looking far enough ahead. 2 more gold cables. Bend those. Get this set back up. Grab the plates. Put the plates in the machine. Build twice. Put the various things away. Let's go check on the liquid helium. Alright, ASCII. Thanks for stopping by. I really should have shouted you out earlier. Just like System, ASCII also streams Gregtech New Horizons. He's also a fantastic builder. He builds smaller things than System builds, but they're also beautiful things. So if you're enjoying the Gregtech New Horizons content at all, I really suggest you go give ASCII a follow. If I can spell his name correctly, it'll let me shout him out. He's on at some strange hours from my perspective, but that's because he's not an American, I don't think. If he is American, he's living somewhere completely not America, in my estimation. But he works and streams some off hours, typically what seems to be in the middle of the night for me. But I suggest you give him a follow, and maybe you can enjoy his content too. Alright, we got that coolant cell. Put away this. I think we have everything to make this except for those power circuits. That's what I suspected. Grab those power circuits. Go back and build this. But have a great day, and thank you for stopping by, ASCII. Take care. And I really hope I'm saying your name right. I do have trouble with pronouncing names. Gonna need the wire, I think. Yes. This all gets built in the assembler machine as well. So one frame, or one machine hull, one wire, 2 low power ICs, 2 coils, a coolant cell, no number, and a pump. Hello, Blue Canary. Welcome in. Thank you for the first time chat. Why do all your favorite streamers stream till 2 a.m.? Way beyond my ability to know. I have no idea why people stream at various times. My suspicion is that they are able to, and that's why they do it then. We need some more pieces. We need a stainless steel rotor. Do we have that? We do. And we need some large PTFE fluid pipes. So we'll grab our PTFE once again. We'll grab our large pipe. We need 2 of these. One. And 2. Put things away. Put things away. Grab the parts. Those extra steel rotors we made because the 17-4, we'll put those away. And then we will build this large chemical reactor. Now we just completed a quest. Well, it's an HV quest, so I won't worry about it. I'm not looking at HV quests until I get there, and I'm not there yet, considering I'm not done with MV, and it'll be a while before I even concern myself with that stuff. Let's go down here. Let's go to the right floor. And we'll put this away. So how's your day going, Blue Canary? What you up to? Alright, so glad you're good. This looks like a rather easy one to build. I hope this can go down on the bottom. And I kind of hope these can be put in a little different method. It does look like that coil is going to need to be there. But I'm hopeful that I can put one input here and one input and one output here, and that that'll still form. You don't want to start MV circuits because you're too lazy. But MV circuits are so much fun. Let's see here. I want to put it right here as the corner. So that means this block will go there roughly. And then we'll turn it around to face the correct direction. Then we need these chemically inert hulls. And we'll just build these up all the way around until we get to the point where we need to start replacing them. And then we'll work on that. And then in the center, it needed that ETFE. On top of that was the Cooper nickel. And then more of these chemically inert hulls. And then this is actually going to go up one on that block. And then I'm hoping to wall share this with this side. So this wall will be completely these casings. So we'll put a maintenance hatch on the end. And we'll put power in on the back. Actually, that was showing it on the top, so maybe I'll put that on the top. Maybe that'll make it nice and easy and will actually be simple to connect because it can come in from the top. Put these two in. Then we need the inputs and the outputs. So I was hopeful that I could put the inputs on top, like so, and then have the outputs be maybe along this side, like so. Let's see if that builds. It does like it. Excellent. I'm very happy to see that. I mentioned slow progress in the stream title and the stream description, and that's exactly what happens in my streams. I dug out a room and I built one machine. Took me 2 hours. That's the way I play Minecraft, I guess. Let's put a sign on this because I know what this is going to be useful for. And I don't want to forget. This is going to be making platinum concentrate, I believe. Let's double check that. Going back, going back. What were we doing? Oh no. Platinum columns. Okay, yes. Or no. No, we're not going to do this in the large chemical reactor. This is not what I was going to do here. Let's think back. We were doing this. We should have bookmarked this on our other page. So this is fluorine and hydrogen in and hydrofluoric acid out. All right, so output will be hydrofluoric acid. And the inputs will be fluorine. Fluorine. And hydrogen. All right, back on the chat. Blue Canary says he's working on building the 4 EBFs in LV. Wow. That's a nice number of EBFs. I have 2 EBFs, I think. Yes, I have 2 EBFs. I'd love to have 4, but I have 2 right now. Oxygen does speed things up. I have prioritized making things like oxygen. My automated EBF is basically just overhead right now. We can go take a look at it. Let me pick up my toolbox, essentially. Put away my wrench. We'll go take a look at that. This is my automated EBF. It is used for ore processing. I've got oxygen in. I thought I might need other gases, so I made a quad input hatch EV and set it up to bring in multiple gases, but so far I've only needed the one. This setup here processes... I thought it would have more of the material to process in here and I'd be able to label it. But it's sugar beets that come in here. There they are. Sugar beets come in, they get turned into sugar, and the sugar gets electrolyzed into carbon, oxygen, and water. The water I throw away, the oxygen I store, the carbon I store. Excess gets thrown away as well, and then the carbon gets sent to the input hatch where other various things are stored up to be then further processed. The materials are then sent back into the system and then stored. You have 2, but your bottleneck is oxygen for wrought iron and steel. For wrought iron, for that, have you looked at the arc furnace? If you look at the way to make wrought iron in the blast furnace, it takes... I doubt you're using this recipe. I don't know what recipe you're using. But in the arc furnace, you can make wrought iron... Well, let's just do iron ingot. Okay, so you're using the arc furnace. That's the way I build steel when I need to build steel quickly. I put a pile of iron into the arc furnace and I let it turn it into the wrought iron, and then I take the wrought iron and the carbon and I make a whole bunch of steel. But that's the time I've had set up aside to actually stream today. I want to thank everybody who was here, and I'm going to raid you guys out to somebody else who's streaming. If anyone has a idea of where I should go, I'm willing to listen. If not, Math Girl says Rogue, and I want to say 2 things. Math Girl is quite often right, and Math Girl is a wonderful streamer. So let's shout her out first before we leave. Math Girl plays on the Dragonfell SMP. I don't know a lot of details about that, but she is a very nice streamer. She's probably one of the nicest streamers I've ever seen on Twitch. And she builds beautiful and very good in-theme things for her builds, which are fantastic. She's got a gigantic, sprawling metropolis going on Dragonfell. I don't have to, but I'm here, and I want to, and I can, so I will. So there. She's got this huge build that's based off of a wonderful novel, The Phantom Tollbooth. I suggest once again you give her a follow and maybe catch one of her streams sometime. And then I'm not going to shout out Rogue because we're going to raid Rogue, and I don't actually watch a lot of Rogue, and I'm not comfortable shouting out someone I haven't myself seen. Or I suppose if someone raids into me, I'm probably going to shout them out because, wow, did they give me a raid? And I don't know why people would raid me unless they're like trying to play around with like messing with me. Although thank you again, Shro, for rating me with a billion people once upon a time. You're fantastic and you're amazing. Thank you for that name, Math Girl. I was about to look that up. Now that that shout out's over, let's do a raid. Rogue 733. A raid has been created. Let's go back and look through chat just a little bit more. I think, yep. Thank you, Blue Canary, for that nice emote. And yes, your oxygen setup is probably going to need more centrifuges. The oxygen setup with the beetroot is much, much faster and easier to use in that manner. I think that's all I've got to say. Once again, thank you everyone for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm probably going to stream tomorrow morning. It'll probably be starting sometime between 9 and 10 a.m., depending on how I feel, and we'll probably go to about noon. Thanks for being here. I'm about at saying goodbye, but goodbye. We'll see you in Rogues.